Guys, it is your girl Sunshine here with another one. Now, I hope you remember to start every day with positive intentions and you're seeing through the eyes of love by sharing your love and light to others. Now, this video is for the sun, moon, and rising and Venus signs for our lovely, lovely Scorpio. Yes. Now, I feel as if this video is hella more darker than usual because my light is blown, but the show must go on. Now before we was doing your shuffle, as soon as I was like ready to be like, oh, who am I gonna do? I just got a sense of love. And then when I was shuffling and meditating on the cards, I also got spread your wings and moving on, but the moving on came in reverse. So I feel as if there's some of you that have had a situation where it pertains to love, where it was holding you back and you were struggling to move on, and you are no longer holding on to that because you've learned to spread your wings. And it's already started. So that was in the pre-shuffle. So the first thing, my lovely Scorpions, we are going to see what chakra you need to work on. It's already started. So we got the sacral chakra, and this is the second chakra. You can definitely do Google searches and videos on YouTube to get healing and to tap into that a little bit more. But let's see what is going on. So what has brought you to this video? What is your current situation? What is the current situation that you clearly are moving past? What is going on with the Scorpions? What is going on with the Scorpions? So we have here is the nature of your problem and situation. We have the giving and receiving. For the cause of the problem and basically reason for you even coming here. We have the darkness and fears. And for the factors to be considered, we have here is the trust, which is nice. And the solution and advice we have here is dreams coming true. I'm going to pull another card for that. Okay, that makes sense. We have the confront card, and then for the end result and outcome, you have here the feeling alone. And daydreams and decisions. Okay, so first here, in regards to right now, you're learning the process of giving and receiving. It feels as if there's been an uneven give and take when it comes to relationships. This can be many different relationships. It doesn't necessarily have to be just with your partner per se, but relationships in general, there's always been one that you've done more than the other, and you're learning. It's a process, but you're learning to have a balance between both of them. Now, what has been blocking you from giving and receiving is your darkest fears. Now, with your darkest fears, what I feel as I feel as if that you've been more of a receiver, no tea, no shade. And the reason why I'm saying that is because a lot of times when it comes to giving, you have more fear into giving than into receiving. Receiving is easier. You ain't gotta do nothing. Just gotta accept it, right? But when it comes to giving, that is you having to let down a guard. That is you having to, basically kind of leave yourself open to possibly getting hurt if the person wishes to hurt you. You know what I mean? And even if the person doesn't wish it to hurt you, you ain't taking a chance. You're like, nah, yo, I'd rather, pack up and leave than come and face this or open up to this for me to get hurt. No tea, no shades, boo, but I really feel as if you've been holding back from that because you've most likely have gotten hurt in the past, by giving, you were a giver, you were at your balance, and then when you gave to the wrong person. Which is perfectly fine because it's all about a learning process, right? At that time, you needed to learn that You can't give to everyone. You know what I mean? You have to filter through who you give to. You have to be able to see past the illusions, see past the ego, in order to see, is this the type of person that I should be giving my time and affection to, or this is a person that is just greedy, is just gonna take and never give anything back. So there was a lot of fear and trust and whatnot going through in your main concern that has brought you over here. Now, with the factors to be considered is trust. So this is basically the Fool card. This is about taking a leap of faith. This is about new beginnings. This is about, you know, getting ready. The more that you surrender to accept that you can give, and yes, it's true, you may not always get it reciprocated back to you, but that should not hinder you and it should not hurt you. And it's funny enough because the other readings I did a couple of days ago as well, the fire signs were also having a little bit of that kind of same type of energy of not wanting to surrender and let go. Literally all three of the readings had us the overall message of just let go. So that is kind of what the energy is going on right now. It's about surrendering and not wanting to surrender because not knowing the outcome, right? You don't know if it's going to be a good situation or a bad situation. But the thing about it is that's an illusion. You know, your dreams can come true. You just have to confront what it is that has been that fear factor for you that's been hidden in the background. Okay, it circles out in your mind constantly on replay. It just listen, the button for replay is just on there. It's just looped and looped and looped, and it's like you'll forget maybe for a second about something, but it'll come right back. It has become such a loop in your mind that it is a familiar thing. It's actually kind of, in a way, not to be mean or anything like that. It's kind of soothing in a sense because it has a couple, like, you're very, when you are used to something, even if it's bad, there's a certain part of you that's comfortably used to it. You know what I mean? I've heard it saying one time before where when, I don't know, someone was telling a story basically about a situation where there was this dog that was laying on a nail. And the person was saying something about how, well, why doesn't the dog just move? Like, why would they lay in the nail? And what the person explained to their neighbor was that it hasn't, like, aggravated the person enough for them to get up. So it's like the dog's like, yeah, this is a little uncomfortable, but I'm not dying or anything. I can live. Like, you know what I mean? But if it was something that was more life-threatening, the dog would have been out and it jumped, and they wouldn't even seen the whole situation, right? It would have been that instant, that quick. And the same thing when it comes to fears and the illusions that are played in our mind, because it feels as if this is something that is deep-rooted. It's been there for a minute. Just for the fact of the shadow in the background that I see here. Because it could easily be something from childhood. This can easily be something just that's lasted for a good amount of time. So it's deeply rooted because it's causing illusions. Okay? And it is stopping you from your dreams coming true. Right? The more that you confront it, the closer you get to your dream. Okay, now this card is 18, which adds up to 9, and the coming dreams coming true is already a 9 card. So it's a double confirmation of 9s of this is something that is wrapping up for you. Okay, you're at a last stage in regards to something that you're going through. And you also have here is another 9. Okay, the darkest fears card is also a 9. So I feel as if this fear is not going to have a strong hold on you as it has in the past. You are coming out of this energy in order to go after your dreams, because you know that if you don't, that you're gonna stay in the feeling alone and what if and what could have happened and what am I gonna do now? Am I ever gonna get the experience? Yada 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 yada. Whatever the ego's saying, you know what I mean? So when you figure out what it is that you actually desire, okay, all these things that you're daydreaming about, all of these things that you don't know about making a decision for it, because this card is pretty much like the original tarot deck. It is the Seven of Cups, having so much options, having so many things to choose from, you know, not knowing which direction to go. And you can end up getting stuck and stagnant when you focus on something that you don't really know of. Like, you're like, okay, well, I know I like music and I could be dope with that, but I love art. Oh, but I also like singing. And it's just like, but maybe I'll do some construction. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many aspects and so many things that you could do that's in your potential, that's in the foreground for you, but it's just like, which one do you choose? And you get so caught up in not knowing which one to choose that you actually end up being stagnant by not choosing anything at all. Okay? No tea, no shades, boo. It happens to all of us at some point in our life. But like I said, the good news is I feel a sense of coming out of this energy. And like I said, I had sensed a lot of love going on, like type of energy, when I started to pick up on who was going to do the reading for. When I split the deck just now, I got the listening card, okay, and I also got the Grove, okay. So for this card, for me as a reader, it always reminds me of the Hermit card, and especially with it being 21 and adding up to 3, for me as a reader, 3s is about, you know, mind, body, and spirit, making sure that you're focusing on all aspects, making sure that every single day that you are filling each cup in order for you to be balanced in your day-to-day life. Okay, this is just being about alone, hermit mode, by yourself, you know, which I feel as if Scorpios, this is something that you guys tend to do naturally, okay? I just saw 11 and 55 on the clock. If you're into numerology, you can definitely research that. But for me as a reader, the ones have to do with, you know, encouragement. Is encouraging you to keep following your spiritual guide, which keep nudging you forward. Okay, when you're actually noticing what's nudging you forward instead of something that's pulling you back. Because pulling back energy is draining. It's pulling. It's deep. It's tense. You can feel it. Okay, you can feel the agony of it just weighing down on you. Whereas something that is in the right direction is very positive and uplifted. It's home. It's happiness. It's joy. Knowing the difference between the two helps you actually tap in and tune into your spiritual guides so you can go down the path you need to go to and you don't have to question it. Now, you guys are very good with your intuition, so I feel as if I am just saying things that you already know. But sometimes you need to hear a repeat of the things you already know to do it more often, because you may neglect doing it. Okay? Now, the other card that I showed before was also the listening card, okay? Now, what I love about this card, because this is actually my favorite card. For one, it is 23, okay? On the top, which boils down to 5, okay? Before, I had also saw 55 a moment ago, I mentioned, so that is 3 5s. You literally have seen, there's a 5 here, that's 4 5s, okay? If you want to research that, you can. But for me as a reader, this is about change. Change is occurring. You know, the universe is moving things around. It's shifting. It's refocusing. Okay, it is, the decisions that you're making are very important right now. It's very crucial to your next steps of where you're going. Now, the reason why I love this card so much is in the background, it actually says, darkness does not always adequate to evil, and light does not always bring good. Yin and yang. You know what I mean? Like, it says in the background. I don't think you can see it on the video though. But it's about yin and yang, and it's about also understanding every single thing. So there's certain things where you're like, you know, this is good for me to do this, but it's just like on the other spectrum of it, there could be bad towards it. Okay, you know what I mean? Like, if there's something, like, say example, there's let's just say food. Let's just say there's something that you know is good. It's good for you to do it. You know, eat it. But it makes you sick. So then it's just like, it's not really good because it's making you sick, even though it's supposed to be good. It is very interesting in regards to paying attention to those things. If you go back and you evaluate certain morals and certain stepping stones that you have set in place to how you operate on a daily basis, and you question that, you're gonna get some stuff. You're gonna get some stuff. Now, I know this has already been a long reading, but I wanted to get a little bit more. I just saw a flash of the success card, which is good because you will have success out of this situation. But what card did come out was the cycles. I don't know if you saw it on camera, but anyways, is the cycles card. Okay, now with this card it's pretty much about moons. If you think about it, you have a full moon, quarter moon, yada yada yada. And each one has its time and each one has its season. And this is just another thing. You could also be very resonated with moon. There's a lot of moons that are actually, there's a moon here, there's a moon here, there's two moons, there's moons here, pretty much. But these are cycles that you're going through, okay? It's just another cycle. Now, what I also want to explain to you that is, if and when you do put it in the corner and leave it off and you focus on something else, yes, you may think that it is something that you're getting over, but just know it's going to recycle back because you haven't dealt with it. When you don't deal with certain wounds, especially deep wounds, it will always resurface because it's always in the back of your mind. It's on replay. You know what I mean? It's literally on replay. Is there any advice the Spirit wants to provide to Scorpio on their journey? You're going to get a message. What kind of message is Scorpio going to get? Trapped. The moon. Okay, so the message that you need to hear, okay, so it's the message card, right? The message that you need to hear is that you are trapped right now, okay? And the thing about the trap card is the door is open. The bird just need to push it open. Like, it's literally open. I know that it's not as easy when it comes to day-to-day life to feel as if, okay, what's that? It's just, all I have to do is push it open. Honestly, when you're dealing with something, it may feel like it's a lot harder than it is, but what Spirit is trying to say to you, that it is as easy as you think it could possibly be, if you think that it is easy. If you think about law of attraction, and you think about focusing your thoughts, and if the words that you say has power, then you have the power to get yourself out of any situation. Per se, okay? When it comes to these type of things, you have the power to speak into the universe and just out there into the world that this is something that doesn't have to hinder you. You know what I mean? Like, you can really change it up. Now, here with the moon card, I feel as if there's so much illusions that's going on with you right now. See how I was saying all the bird has to do was push the door open? But the bird thinks it's locked. That's an illusion. There's illusions that you're having. These certain things, this fear that has happened to you has caused you to create certain type of setting stones of how you operate on life to keep yourself protected. So you know certain times to give and certain times to receive and certain times to trust and certain times not to. And you keep yourself in this trapped state because you're in illusions. Things that you think are bad are actually good, and things that you think are good are actually bad. There is some, like, veil that needs to fall down for you. When you surrender and you get more tapped into, so get more tapped into yourself, get more grounded, work on your sacral chakra healing, and when you surrender more and you trust, you're gonna have the success you want. But I feel as if you haven't technically gone through this yet. So the success, it feels as if it's a little bit on the back burner because it didn't come out, but it was shown. Okay, so you're working towards it. It's all about your willpower, you know? What are you willing to do when it comes to this? Are you willing to face the fear and get past this? Or are you just gonna, keep pushing in the corner? It's up to you, you know. There's many ways to get healing for situations that you go through. There's many avenues, okay? So I do wish you all the best, Scorpios. Um, I know you guys are fighters, so do you, okay, okay. Now I wish you peace and love on your journey, okay, Scorps. Just remember to keep your head held high. Until next time, it is your girl Shine. Deuces.